And on we'll go.
Welcome to another episode of Boom or Bust, the draft show. Max Chadwick alongside PJ Clark, Tate, Sigworth, and Nick Merriam. We got another scouting report for you guys, and this is a big one. It's our guy, BYU quarterback Zach Wilson. I've got the shirt on, if you could see it. We are pumped to what you will see in the video, because I'm actually probably not the homer out of this group, but we are pumped for this video. I mean, we have been waiting for this guy. I know a lot of you in the comments are saying, do Zach Wilson, do Zach Wilson.
Listen, he's no Patrick Surtain. What?
Patrick is the guy. He's the guy among our commenters. But, man, Zach Wilson, we've been waiting for his bowl game to be over so we could do this video, and it's finally over. He hasn't even declared yet, and we're like, screw it, we're doing a video regardless.
He's good. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll go over his strengths, his weaknesses, where he ranks for us on our boards, give player comps for him, and what NFL teams he might fit at the next level. Not a lot of them, because he's going to be picked really high. Of course, be sure to follow our Twitter and Instagram at BoomerBustDraft. YouTube, anywhere, obviously, if you're watching us. Also, anywhere you get your podcast to, please rate us 5 stars. Please subscribe to the channel. Check out our website. We're posting mock drafts. Mine is coming this week, which is going to be the one that everyone loves. Every fan base is going to love it. They're going to say, wow, what a logical and what a great pick for my team. I promise you. So please check that out in the link below. So let's go over the background for Zachary Football. He's number 4 on the official Boomer Bust Big Board 1.0, which will be updated probably in January.
He's going higher.
It's the number 3 quarterback behind Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. Now, he's a junior. He's 6'3", 210. He's a former 3-star recruit, number 958 overall, and number 64 quarterback in 2018 coming out of Utah. He was a 3-year starter for BYU. This season, he finished 8th in the Heisman voting. First time it was a sham. The first time a BYU player finished in the top 10 since Ty Detmer finished 3rd in 1991. And because he completed 73% of his passes this year for 3,699 yards, 33 touchdowns, only 3 picks, also ran for 254 yards and 10 touchdowns. And in his 3-year career, he has completed 68% of his passes for 7,659 yards, 56 touchdowns, only 15 interceptions. He also ran for 642 yards and 15 touchdowns. PJ, let's start with you, because he might be rocking that same hoodie that you're wearing right now. When you watch Zach Wilson, what do you like the most?
The game is effortless for Zach Wilson. Everything he does, it doesn't even look like he's trying, which honestly is wildly impressive. Is it a little bit concerning that maybe he's going to have to get up to speed with NFL defenses after all this? Yeah, it is. But everything, he throws the ball 60 yards, flick of the wrist. Doesn't even look like he puts his body into it. Ball positioning, not working with, has a really, really good offensive line with BYU. I'll give him that. Has time to throw. Breaks the pocket sometimes when he might not need to, but not working with the greatest receivers. I make the joke all the time. He's throwing him Mitt Romney's grandson. Like, he can't be that good. It's not like we have 5 stars out here. But, I mean, mobile, uses his legs when he has to, throwing on the run, everything. I mean, yeah, we can nitpick problems, but everything just looks effortless. Arm strength, accuracy, even balls he throws away. He makes the plays that, I'm not comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, unlike Max did that one time, but he does these things where you think he's just throwing it away, and all of a sudden it drops in somebody's hands 30 yards down the field. Like the throw he made, I'll insert it here, against in the bowl game the other day, where he was falling away off of 1 foot, and the kid made the diving catch for a 30-yarder. I don't think a Jet quarterback's made that throw in my entire life. So what's not to like about Zach Wilson is my question back to the rest of this group.
We'll get to that later on in the video, Peter. Don't jump ahead. The things I like about Zach Wilson, the pocket presence, when the offensive line pocket does break down. PJ mentioned the offensive line this year has been wonderful for BYU, but he's a good athlete, helps extend plays. And when he's on the scramble, he's on the move. He does an unreal job of keeping his eyes downfield, finding receivers that are open, and then completing the pass on the run. That's something that is a huge bonus to him and has helped him tremendously this year. And he's not the fastest guy, but he's a great athlete. He has really nice burst and acceleration that helps him avoid tacklers. I'm not gonna, go on and sing all of his praises like PJ will, but he's a good player. He's gonna go early in the draft. And yeah, I had pocket presence, eyes downfield on the scramble, and a heck of an athlete. I'll go with that.
And as the athleticism of QBs gets better in the NFL and college, the ability to improvise as a quarterback is becoming a huge thing everywhere. And he's perhaps the best we've seen as an improviser in college, period. Maybe there are some drawbacks to that, which we might get into later. But as far as he has in terms of arm talent, accuracy downfield, he's the best deep ball accuracy I've seen from a prospect in a long time. He can throw on the run, mobility outside the pocket. I think he's a great athlete. I don't think people talk about that enough. And he really, it's difficult to do the things he does. It's not easy to roll out and just direct a guy 50 yards down the field, just, drop in the bucket down there. It's so insane, some of the things it does, that it's almost hard to project it to the next level.
Yeah, you mentioned how it makes it look so easy and it's really so difficult. If you want to see really how difficult it is, check out our combine for our pass show where I threw 19 yards, and this guy is just firing it off 1 foot, 60 yards downfield.
He just points at guys.
He makes
60 yards downfield and just goes, okay, somebody's out there.
Listen, I don't know if we should bring up Max in any throwing competition or any discussion around throwing.
Yeah, that's
ever.
actually an insult to Zach that was just mentioned here. But
let's
continue.
What I'm
We're
saying
comparing
is
Max Chadwick's 19-yard throw to Zach
yeah, I'm not allowed to throw it downfield. That's exactly why. But no, Zach Wilson emasculates me every time he throws it downfield, basically. Look, you guys mentioned it. He has a trait that makes you sit on the edge of your seat every time he drops back to pass. Nick, you mentioned it. I think the most important trait for quarterbacks nowadays is improvisation. And you saw it with Joe Burrow coming out as one of his big strengths. Patrick Mahomes now in the NFL. The improvisation is like an efficient version of backyard football is what Zach Wilson's doing right now. So when a play breaks down, Zach Wilson might be the best in his class. Arm talent is absolutely absurd. He looks like a shortstop. Like I said, the improvisation, ridiculous arm angles, ridiculous platforms he's throwing from. He's still completing them. His arm strength, probably, I would say, behind Lawrence, but him and Lance, I would say, are really comparable. Outstanding accuracy down the field, drops throws into really tiny buckets down the field, can scramble, pick up yards when he needs to. He also, we didn't even bring this up, and I can't believe you guys didn't. He brought 2 BYU cheerleaders to his senior prom in high school. Boy. This kid has moxie. But Tate, you were kind of the guy out of all of us, I would say, that's kind of pumping the brakes a little bit the most on our show. What do you think his weaknesses are?
His first and his biggest weakness, and you hear it all the time from people, is his competition. He's
from
not playing.
People, as if you are not the bastion of competition on this show.
Listen, you go online, you look it up, you read all about him, and everybody's like, who has he played? And the answer is not a lot of people. And PJ, you say the game is effortless. It's because he's really playing nobody. He's only played 6 ranked games in 30 career starts. And in those games, he has 8 touchdowns and 5 interceptions against 6 games. Again, that's not great. I don't love that. Slightly concerning. And then my other one, and this is kind of more a projection. I think at the next level, he's going to have this kind of hero complex where he puts everything on his shoulders and he runs around and he's trying to make all these throws because his team's probably not going to be the best in the league. Let's face that. And he's just going to try to make things happen. Yeah, at PJ, assuredly. And I just think that could be something that'll need to be curbed at the next level and could lead to big problems.
Corey Davis is going to have a lot of fun with him. I don't know what you're talking about. Tate said it. I think the level of competition thing, I think it's kind of overrated in this sense. And I think it is with Trey Lance too, because you're seeing these guys make NFL throws on tape. But yeah, they're doing it against worse competition than Power 5. There's nothing, you could possibly say about that. And then secondarily to that, he does have a little bit of an injury history, which is not, a concern, but had shoulder surgery 2 years ago, missed all of spring camp, had a hand thing last year,
on his throwing arm.
On his throwing arm.
Yeah.
I mean, that matters.
On
and
hand
his throwing
too.
hand, it matters. I mean, that's a real thing. It's going to be an interesting medical to see if anything comes up there. And then lastly, I don't mean to steal everybody else's thunder, but it's a one-year wonder thing. And guys have done more with less. Guys get drafted on 1 year all the time. Some of them are good, and some aren't. But, last year wasn't great, and he missed time. So that's going to impact any decision the team's going to have to make.
I did not put down the competition thing. I tend to be a big guy with like, if the competition is lower, who you're playing with is also lower. So it's, I mean, yes, you're like better and that.
Are you saying that
but,
Mitt Romney's grandson is not Chris Olave or Devonta Smith?
Hey,
Mitt
Mitt Romney
might
lost,
be.
all right? If it was Barack Obama's grandson, maybe. Then we could start talking about it.
He might be the best presidential candidate's grandson I've ever seen play college football.
Yeah.
High
Maybe.
praise.
Good way to put it. Yeah, so I have some worries, just like we talked about. It's hard to project about how he's going to fit into a pro-style offense. Now, the argument against that is the NFL is not really pro-style anymore. It's becoming more craziness in terms of what you can do offensively with this motion and creativity revolution we're seeing. Still, though, there's going to be more refinement and organization to what he's doing. Even when you go off script, there's more detail to what you need to be doing at the NFL level than what you do in college. And it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for him. He could very well be very good when he first gets in the NFL, but you're going to see growth in his first season. I think that's going to be a big thing for him. Staying in the pocket a little more. I think he's a little happy with getting outside of the pocket. Not that he is wrong to be escaping and just trying to do what he can because he's great at it. But, I think he's so good at it that he just looks to do it every play at times. So that could be a little bit of a worry. But, these, again, are things that NFL teams are going to see as just downsides to what he does so well. And it's just different. And that's fine, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you guys literally hit everything I was going to say. I mean, I'm always wary of the one-year wonder guys. You saw it in our Caleb Farley videos and Greg Rousseau videos right above us. They were kind of one-year wonders, and I mentioned it. And I was kind of like, hey, listen, they were great for 1 year, but we haven't seen them, be great for consistently. Wilson burnt the world down this year. I don't think any of us would disagree with that, but he was fine last year and the year before. He's a 3-year starter. PJ, you hit on it too. Durability, man. I mean, he had surgery on his throwing shoulder in the offseason, like you mentioned, after his freshman year, surgery on his throwing hand in his sophomore year that forced him to miss a few games. He's listed at 6'3", 210, but I'd bet the under on both those measurements. And the play style that, Nick, you mentioned too, like he holds onto the ball for an average of 2.71 seconds, which is 24th longest in the country this year.
Long.
That's long. And the fact that he's smaller and he's had injuries and he holds onto the ball longer, that's concerning for the next level. He'll have to, maybe get rid of the ball quicker. I trust he will. The competition, like all of you mentioned, but Nick, the best defense he played this year is Houston. Best team is Coastal Carolina. That's a far cry from the Power 5 schedules that Lawrence and Fields
are playing. Boise State at Boise State is not a slouch game. They have not lost a lot of games on the blue.
Lawrence and Fields are playing almost better competition every single week.
Yes,
the game is going to be a lot faster at the next level.
Absolutely, 1,000%, and they're on bigger stages. I would say too. Like he was playing in the Boca Raton Bowl, and Lawrence and Fields are playing in the playoff and national championship games. So we haven't seen him play at big stages either. So Nick, give me the bottom line on Zach Wilson, where he ranks for you, a player comp, and potential team fit to the next level.
So as of recently, he's now the number 2 QB on my board, number 3 overall. Comp was tough. We talked about this a lot earlier. There's some Aaron Rodgers in him. There's some Kyler Murray in him. But he's not like the same as those guys.
Say it.
The same thing that I had with Burrow was that these improvising types, I always come back to Tony Romo. And that's my comp because he's probably going to play like Tony Romo, but he's more athletic and maybe not as refined yet and doesn't maybe have the short accuracy that Romo has. It's in terms of college, he reminds me a little bit of when RG3 would just do random stuff and run around and just toss the ball down the field. So that's kind of a comp. But again, he's a different type of QB. What he could be in the NFL, Tony Romo-esque, but definitely that Rodgers ceiling is there. Team fits, I put Carolina. I think Matt Rule will be looking for a guy who's not mobile, but a type of guy who I think can fit into a scheme and just toss the ball. I think he wants to throw the ball downfield. You've seen it a lot with Teddy Bridgewater this year. Bridgewater, not a guy you think of as really a deep ball, great QB at that.
Yeah, just check down Teddy. It's fine.
But they've been trying to do it, and they've done it to a degree that's greater than you would expect from Teddy Bridgewater. And I think a guy like Zach Wilson would fit in that system.
Okay, I'm making Tate go next because I have a spiel.
Oh, okay.
A spiel.
So I was between kind of an RG3 comp. I was thinking about it, and this guy, and I'm probably going to upset Nick and PJ, but I'm going with Johnny Manziel.
Mm.
I mean, that's what it looks like, so I'm fine with it.
I did
Yeah,
think about that,
it's
actually.
he might be a little bigger, and he's going to be better in the NFL. At least we hope. But just the whole improvised kind of, he doesn't do as much running around and craziness as
Yeah.
Manziel did.
And you can't party at BYU either, which is important to know.
That's true. That's true.
Never
He-
found
he-
out.
Don't allow
he's
that.
probably
Found out.
less of a, I'll say a party addict. How
Stay
about
off
that?
the up.
Yeah, Wilson plays a less chaotic game. Max called him Zachary football, Johnny football. You know, the parallels are there certainly. Team fit, I mocked him to Carolina in my mock draft. Check it up on the website this week. That's a good fit. If he falls farther down, a lot of people are saying San Francisco and Kyle Shanahan would be a fun fit. I
that'd
don't
be
think
fun.
he gets there.
That'd be fun.
And so my bottom line is right now he's number 6 on my board. I don't really think he gets a lot higher, and he's QB3. I think the adjustment for Fields and Wilson are both going to be pretty big at the next level, but I think Fields is the higher ceiling and is more of a safe prospect than Wilson.
Okay, is it my turn now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's-
Go ahead.
Okay.
Get your pop.
Uh,
Everybody at home, kick your feet up.
Here's
Get
the
your
deal.
popcorn.
Or just turn
Here's-
off the video.
Here's the deal. Zach Wilson needs to be a New York Jet on April 29th, 2021. The Jets actually do not have a choice in this matter because for a myriad of reasons. So we're gonna start. So we're gonna start here.
Is this a mock draft video?
If the New York Jets draft Justin Fields, the fan base is going to be gone because Justin Fields is going to lose to Trevor Lawrence next week or this week. That's on Friday. Sheesh. He's going to lose to Trevor Lawrence, and that's going to be bad. And everybody's going to clown the Jets, and Justin Fields would get eaten alive by the New York media for simply being not Trevor Lawrence. Could Zach Wilson suck? Yes. I'm fully prepared to admit that. But the way the NFL is going, yeah, exactly. And it is the Jets. I would rather go down swinging than anything else. And
There's
Zach
never
Wilson
wrong.
is going down swinging here. It can't be Sam Darnold. It can't be Justin Fields. The only team fit for Zach Wilson is the New York Jets. He is QB2. He is my number 3 overall player behind Lawrence and Sewell. My player comp is actually somebody who has been mentioned already here. I think he is college Teddy Bridgewater before his leg imploded. That's what
Okay.
Two-glove Teddy in college was like throwing the ball deep, doing fun stuff all the time, and then had a little bit worse of a last year that pushed him all the way to the bottom of the first round.
Mhm.
And then his leg blew up, and he can't throw the ball further than 15 yards anymore. Teddy Bridgewater's a really, really fun college quarterback. They're about the same size. Teddy a little bit smaller. That's what I'm going with for Zach Wilson, is college Teddy Bridgewater.
I don't even remember
Pre-leg
college Teddy.
implosion.
I love college Teddy. I thought he honestly, Houston probably should have taken him with that first pick, is what I thought over Clowney. But, you know, it's worked out for them at least a little bit. But right now, Wilson, number 4 on my board, number 3 quarterback behind Lawrence and Fields. I don't see that changing. I think he has a slightly higher ceiling than Fields, but I think Fields has a much higher floor than Zach Wilson. So, which is why I have
Which
Fields.
is fine. It's either
Yeah.
you're pot committed or you're not.
Yeah.
And I want the New York Jets to
I
go
think-
all in. I don't care.
Yeah, and exactly. I think Fields' ceiling is still similar enough to Wilson, where I have Fields over him. We love to make the Mormon Holmes jokes.
Do it.
Make the comp.
I dare
Make
you.
the comp.
Patrick Mahomes. I'm gonna.
He said it. He
sounds
said
even
it. Book
worse.
it.
Sounds even
End of the
worse.
video.
That sounds even
Okay,
worse.
thanks for
Thank
watching.
you for watching,
Please
yeah.
subscribe. Zach Wilson is Patrick Mahomes. Quote Max
Daniel,
Chadwick.
listen,
Thank you.
Daniel Jeremiah said it, so at least I have someone to kind of hide behind. Aaron Rodgers. Now, keep in mind, is my pro comp. Keep in mind, pro comparisons, for me at least, don't necessarily mean they'll be as good. I'm not
No,
saying
that's what I think it means.
I am
is
not
craziness.
saying
Max
he will
just
be-
said Zach Wilson will be Patrick Mahomes and Aaron
So
Rodgers.
the 2 greatest quarterbacks in the history of the
Hustle.
sport.
He's saying like a Super Bowl.
Congratulations.
Some of both.
Congratulations.
Podcast.
famous podcast. I'm quoting this podcast. I can't go for the graphic when we post because people are gonna be pissed.
Congratulations.
They're like, how do you
Joe
have a QB?
Douglas, if a copy of this gets into your hands, just think about what Max just said.
I'm not saying he's as good. They just have
Run
similar
Holmes.
play styles. I'm saying he's like the group of 5 Aaron Rodgers. He has crazy arm talent, can make throws from any platform, any arm angle, can make plays outside the pocket, can scramble when needed, but I don't think they're necessarily dangerous runners, but Rodgers and Wilson can scramble when they need to. Team fits. I'd love for him to go to Carolina. Wilson's arm talent was.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I love it. The speedy receivers in DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and even like Curtis Samuel. That would be like must-see TV every Sunday. And PJ, you mentioned before the video.
We're not going to see it, so it's
Didn't Matt Rule recruit him too at Baylor at one point?
Matt Rule did recruit him. I wish I never learned this information.
Yeah, so it might happen.
It's not going to.
So
might ruin him.
that's what we got on
Might
Zach Wilson. I'm not saying he's Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying he plays.
I don't know, Jim.
I think I'm going to clip that one.
Like, please like the video. Even if you hate my take, you hopefully like the rest of the three. Subscribe to the channel. Comment what you think about Zach Wilson. Is he Aaron Rodgers? Where would you take him in the 2021 draft? Is he QB2 or even QB1? Some people have said QB1 over Lawrence, which I think is
Dear
nasty.
God.
Little.
But
I've
I've
seen worse things.
also, please comment what video you want us to do next because we've got a lot of Zach Wilson comments, and obviously we're doing it now. So we do listen to you guys. So please comment what video. It doesn't have to be a scouting report. It could be
Comment Rondale.
anything.
Please don't.
Nick is desperately just commenting on burner accounts.
All and hurt.
Run down more.
And of course, follow our Twitter and Instagram at BoomerBustDraft and check out our website below. So for PJ Clark, Tate Sigworth, and Nick Merriam, I'm Max Chadwick. Have a great night.